Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 16 of Direwolf20's Server Play series. As we mentioned last episode, Soren is out of town. That's right, he's having a good old time playing around out in TwitchCon. So, bummer, I didn't get to go to TwitchCon this year, but that's okay. I don't really stream on Twitch. But a lot of my friends do, and I probably would have had a good old time. Oh wow, 7 singularities? I'm trying to figure out why Soren has 2 matter condensers set up. But it's Soren, so why would I question what he does? Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, I would have probably liked going to TwitchCon. It would have been cool. It looks like they're having a good time out there. But, you know, such is life. No TwitchCon for Dire. That's okay. You guys get to hang out with me instead. And we're going to build a quantum bridge connection between this base and the workshop. At least that's the plan. I'm just trying to figure out why Soren has 2 matter condensers making singularities. Like, not that I'm super complaining, but why? 29, 46. So that one just bumped up. Is this one getting energy? 39, 457. So, like, this one's no longer really running, but this one is 30, 398, 30. Yeah, that's going. Okay, then. I guess I'll just take them all and throw them in the AE network. Because why not? But I need to keep one because we're going to need some ender dust. Is the AE network full or something? Why can I not access it? I can take stuff out, but I can't put things in. Leads me to believe either he messed up my permissions or the drives are full. Ah ha ha! I know what's going on in life. Alright, so clearly Soren was not prepared. What's he got in here? Can we get 4K storage components? That's interesting. I don't know why he wouldn't teach it the whole drive, but I mean, it's easy enough to make once you've got this part. Yay, fireworks. I never understand what Soren does, or rarely do I. Alright, so that thing's filling up awfully quickly, and it concerns me. If I had to wager a guess, either this is all from the mining system. Yes, look, things are processing. Trying to figure out like what Soren's chest is all about. I'm guessing this is a buffer chest for dusts because I saw a dust flash in there briefly. This then must be a buffer chest for ores. Interesting. So we've got a storage bus, an ME interface, and an ME interface. Cool. Still filling up very quickly. Makes me a little nervous, but that's okay. We'll figure out what he's doing in a bit here, I guess. Sweet. So let's make a quantum bridge. Sounds like a plan. Let's get ourselves an ender pearl. We'll have to get it from here. Actually, he's already got ender dust in there? No, it's Enderium blend. Okay, cool. Oh, that's got an EMC value now. That's nice. Alright, so ender pearl. I'm pretty sure I just need to pulverize this dude. Cool. And then we combine this. Oh, that's cool. There's a couple different recipes. That's funny. Let's get ourselves... So, the quantum singularity... We're going to hang on to one of these dudes and this with some TNT. I'll get the small version. Tiny TNT. And a lever. This ought to do. He left me a note, by the way, because he's a good guy like that. Dear Dire, the quantum bridge should be placed where the entropy-infused stone is. The network is hooked up to the P2P net, so it will have many channels as needed. It is dangerous to go alone. Take this. Chat wanted punctuation. ... question mark, exclamation point. Maybe an apostrophe, a comma. I don't know if that's another comma. Alright, you get the point. I'm taking this. That's where the quantum bridge is going to go. So he said in place of the entropy-infused stone, right? Not on top of it. Should be placed where the entropy-infused stone are. Okay, he's the boss. Let's also do some TNTing. This should be safe. Nobody tell Soren I put TNT in his base. Oh, it was less than safe. Alright, we're going to try that again without a magnet on. I have to go get more TNT. Alright, going to try this in a somewhat safer locale. Hooray! That was easy. Let's get our quantum bridge set up. So that's first step. I want to get a quantum bridge to the workshop, and then we're going to see about being able to migrate, well, maybe not migrate, but use some of the things that the quantum workshop, or the workshop has available for us back at our base. So kind of our base will be a share point between the workshop and our main base here, so that A, we have access to all the machines out there, but we can also do stuff. So that'll be cool. How's this thing doing? So you're not filled up yet, which is kind of cool, but you're actually really close. And that one has some room to grow. So let's see if Soren's taught the EE thing any bit of quantum. So quartz glass, but no quantum stuff as far as I can tell. Fair enough. Let's make it. So we're going to want the quantum link chamber. We're going to need some fluix pearls, and this we're going to need quite a few things. We're going to need energy cells and engineering processors. Doesn't know how to make engineering processors? Ah, no exchange value, that's why. Okay. Let's see. I thought I saw something out here where he was making some of these. Yes. Cool. Okay. So you've got redstone and you've got printed silicon. All right. Do these have any MC value? No, they don't. That's why. Okay. Trying to figure out where Soren puts things is often a mystery. He's not, how do I say this, logical with the way he builds stuff sometimes. I mean, I'm sure it makes sense to him, but not to me. So let's try that again. We're going to want the engineering processor, energy cell, so let's get that. So that guy requires some fluix dust. I'm sure that's in here. And then after this is made, this dense cell, I can teach the system how to do it. Oh, no, I can't because there's no exchange value. Okay. Now, how many of these quantum rings do I get for this? One? That's it? Ugh, this is going to be painful. We'll come back in a minute once I'm done. So one thing I find funny about the AE system, it doesn't have any auto-crafting configured yet. So that might be something we'll work on as well. But I've got all the components I need now. So let's get this thing hooked up. So I replace, and I guess I can put my magnet back on now. This stuff with the quantum ring. Now he says this is hooked up to the P2P network guy, right? So we can put this here. Nice. That looks cool. I guess that's correct. And into there goes this guy, and you should be good over there. Now on the other side, we're going to want to, I think I'm going to bring with me to make sure everything's working, at the very least, a crafting terminal. So none there. How about here? Did he teach this thing yet? Of course not. Oh, Soren. We're going to have some words when you get back from TwitchCon. ME crafting terminal, so we're going to want that. Crafting terminal. Make sure these are both in, because I forget which one was missing. I think the other processor type, actually I don't think it does have any MC value, does it? does. Calculation processor. Sweet. There we go. All right, bigger achievements. All right, so what I think I need to do probably is hook up the P2P tunnel coming out of the quantum bridge. So let's head back to the workshop and see about getting this thing up and running. And then once I have access to our main AE system from the workshop, that'll make things a lot easier for us. To Digger we go. Also, Lex has made a really cool thing with the Thaumcraft area, and I want to show it to you, but he's not around right now. Otherwise, I would. Let's see. Where do I want... I feel like this might not be a terrible place for it. Do I have my dolly around here somewhere? I must have a dolly. I'm sure I have a dolly. I just don't know exactly where it is. There we go. Nice. So right inside this house will be where my quantum bridge is hooked up at. That'll be kind of cool, I think. So I may need to make sure the area back at our base is chunk loaded. I'm thinking that's what's going to need to happen here. So let's do this. No EMC, no EMC. Honestly, every time I come back, how do you not have an EMC value? Every time I come back to the workshop, I find more and more of my ores are missing. But that's okay. Soon that won't be a problem. So I think we just need to chunk load our base, and once it's loaded, then we'll be cool. And I noticed that Soren left a chunk loader here. World anchor. Oh wow. 1 hour per ender pearl? Didn't realize it was that bad. I could put a personal anchor though. That would only chunk load it while I'm all logged in. That probably wouldn't be a terrible idea. But for now, this will work. Because honestly, I don't need that area loaded unless I'm logged in. So this should light up on this side now. I don't think both sides need to be connected, right? Let's try it. All right, gonna have to, it might need the power on the other side. I thought it no longer did. You know what, it needs it for the initial connection. So let me go get an energy cell, charge it, and then we'll drop it on here, and then we'll be good. That's right. You still need it for the initial connection, just not afterwards. And if I wanted to, I could just tap it into the power line at the workshop there probably, but eh. In fact, I probably should tap into the power line at the workshop, but we'll deal with that once the initial connection's made. So let's see, energy cell. For Fluix dust. Sweet. Now let's charge this dude up. Anywhere should work. There we go. Fully charged. Hopefully that's enough to kick off the connection. And if it's not, I'll tap into the RF network back at the workshop. So I think RF conversion will work. I just might need a power converter thing. All right, back in a minute. All right, let's see if this helps. So I'm going to want some electrum coil. And where's all my mount points for this dude? I know I had more of them. MV wire connectors, huh? Let's make some real quick. Just hardened clay and 3 iron. Like I said, I'm always missing iron. I suspect Soren. Obstructed. Lies. Can I move this to be right there? Yeah, that might look good. And then you to you. Obstructed. Oh, killing me. That should be cool. Okay, so that power connector now should be up and running. Energy acceptor's good. You're still not online. Interesting. I'm gonna go see if Soren lied to me about how he hooked that thing up. We'll be right back. All right, so the only problem with the way this is built, by the way I got it working, is that I don't know which of these P2P tunnels are already using channels or not, because he has them attached directly to the controller, so there's no way to know how many channels are in use here. I don't want to break his whole network, but like if he had a dense cable in between the controller and the P2P tunnel, that would be pretty awesome and smart of him. But he doesn't, so we're gonna have to just guess and say maybe this one. I hope so. Let's see if we can get things up and running, because I think I've got it working now. The connection should be live, which will be cool. Let's pop back to Digger. I just have to link the P2P networks now. I forgot that this was a P2P bridge, so that connection that I made initially before should not work. So let's do this. Successfully loaded settings. And this. Hey, look at that. We've got items. Nice. That's very cool. All right, so what if I wanted to access them from here? I'm thinking like right under this window would be a cool place to have it. So let's remove this dude. Where's my dolly? We're gonna move you real quick. Now, I'm going to want this here, the memory card loaded, that on there, and then this thing. Hopefully there's some anchors in here. There are not. Do I have any on me? I don't think so. Just need 4. There we go. Nice. That looks cool. And I'll be able to do other stuff with it too, obviously, right? But for now, we shouldn't need our crafting table anymore. The one other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick you up, and right here, I will tap in, and I would like an import bus, please. Of course not. Maybe he taught this thing how to make them. Nope. Import bus. No exchange value, that's why. I really need to fix Soren's system here at some point. Because he's built it around the assumption that he can do everything with equivalent exchange, but you can't do everything with equivalent exchange. So that's going to need some assistance. Now, does he have any acceleration cards handy? How about in here? Those may have EMC value. They do, but it's actually more than what's currently in here. So let's do this. Oh, it just doesn't know it yet. Okay. Acceleration card, please. Guess you don't have either of those. My oh my. Things are acting a little bit funny to me. Now we're talking. So we'll get a processor. We'll throw that in the middle here. I'm going to teach it how to make the advanced cards. I'm guessing it doesn't already know how to do that. No, it knows the basic ones, but not the advanced one. But that should be learnable. Okay, cool. And then let's get the acceleration card in there. It's being very strange, though. I don't know what's up with that. I'll get both of these and we'll make sure it knows how to make them. Nice. That's cool. All right. So then underneath here, we're going to want our import bus. And this will allow us to just suck stuff into the system for now, right? So if I put this here, should start pulling those in. And you should know now how to make an acceleration card. I was going to put a personal chunk loader there, but I determined it's really not necessary. There we go. Cool. Now we can start cleaning up these chests. About time, huh? All right, let me get the workshop here all cleaned up, and then we'll be back. All right, we rapidly ran into the problem of not enough drive space again. So I'm upgrading Soren's stuff a little bit. I should probably teach this thing how to do 16Ks, shouldn't I? Or can I not do that? Guessing they may not have an EMC value. Yeah, that's why. The storage component requires an engineering processor. So that's probably logical. So let's put these in here. You can see I made a few more drives, which unfortunately require the engineering one, so no EMC value for them. Nice. That'll do. All right, now we should have plenty of space for bit. Cool. Back to the workshop. All right, guys, we are back, and I cleaned everything up. Look at me. No more chests all over the place. No more ugly workshop. Well, not really. But as I was cleaning stuff up, Lex came back, and he has a really cool looking mana bean farm that I wanted to show you guys, but I didn't want to show you until he was around, but now he's around. So hi, Lex.
Hello.
How's it going, dude?
Pretty good.
So I noticed you had those trees set up so that you were making this a magical forest biome, and I figured it was probably because you were doing a mana bean farm. And then I saw what you actually did, and I was like, whoa, that's a lot of stuff.
Well, follow me and I shall show you.
Okay. I'm guessing this is you. No, that's Trog.
No, I'm the bat downstairs.
Okay. You're with Enderman on your head. Okay, ready.
You kind of have to be a bat. This is so you don't
Platform
fall
go.
in and die.
I think I was a blaze, wasn't I?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
the
I'm
entrance is one high so you don't fall in and die.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So I have
That's
barrels fully set up, one for each bean. I haven't filled them in yet.
Right.
They're fully upgraded with void, so they'll automatically sort and everything.
Nice.
Trotter did the upgrade part.
And it'll void anything once it gets full.
Yep.
Dude, fully upgraded barrels hold a lot of stuff.
I know they do. However, yeah. We're going to have a lot of mana.
Cool. I mean, if that's cool. All right, where to?
Over this direction.
Wow, that's a steep steep hill?
Go to the first door.
Oh, all right. So you've got Greatwood Log, Mana Spreader. So you have a Hydrangea Mana Farm.
Yep.
Oh,
This
cool.
is the mana and herba farm,
Okay.
which are feeding the hopper hawk downstairs, so I don't have to have 56 gather golems.
Right.
And the herba is feeding the lamp of growth every other level.
Cool. Where are the leaves coming from?
The tree farm upstairs.
Nice.
Yeah, I have that all set up where it automatically pumps out, and you just hook up to the pipe and put a filter on it, and you can get any of the charcoal, logs, trees, saplings, whatever else is up there.
Very cool. Okay, next level down.
Each level is labeled with the things that are supposed to be in it. However, I found a problem last night.
Uh-oh.
This is supposed to be air and arba over here.
Okay.
It's not air and arba because the way the golems are programmed, they search too far to find the seed and will cross-pollinate each other.
Oh, so like these golems are beating these seeds over here kind of deal?
Yeah, if the seed drops on the ground, the golem over here will search a 15 by 15 by 15 radius around it
Right.
for any seed, which is kind of ridiculous.
Can you put up like
And
fences or
we'll plant
something?
it. No, because it bypasses all of that. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make these golems dumb and
Right.
remove the order upgrade, and then make planter golems.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so there's this farm.
So you can't put up fences? That would prevent the golems from walking across, wouldn't it?
It'll prevent the golems from walking across, but I looked at the code for the golems, and the way it works is it scans for all entity items within range, and in code grabs it. It doesn't actually walk through and grab it.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah, there's on this server there are 55 aspects, which is perfect for upstairs because it makes the first level exactly one spot for each aspect.
Nice.
And then I have 14 levels with 4 each, so that leaves me one extra space with where I can sit down there and breed stuff.
Dude, that's really cool looking. Look at these. You got your lamps of growth set up. That's cool. So you'll do breeding. That's neat.
Yeah, breeding at the very bottom.
So then the hopper hawk just puts it in the chest, and then the chest forwards it up to the top area where it eventually gets sorted into barrels.
Yep, the chest each have a extractor servo, which feeds the chest above it. Hopper hawks, when powered with mana, do a 21 by 21 by 21 cube,
Yes.
which is just outside my walls.
Nice. Yeah, I knew when they're powered with mana, I knew they did a wider range. I just didn't know what the range was. If you wear that monocle from Botania, you get to see it. It like gives you a visual representation of the range.
That would have been a lot better to know because I did it by trial and error.
Yeah, any flower that has a range, if you wear the mana monocle in your bauble slot, you get to a visual in-game shows you thing. Let me go see. I'm pretty sure they're easy to make too.
Yeah, I hopped on single player and just made a big cube and threw items everywhere until they stopped being picked up.
Right. So let's see, mana glass and mana steel and gold nuggets.
Do you know how to get the elf ingot things?
Which ones?
The ones that are needed to upgrade the mana spreaders to the elven mana spreaders?
The Elementium stuff?
Yeah.
You drop 2 mana steel ingots into the portal that I built in the workshop, and it'll spit out 1 of the pink ingots.
Okay. I saw the portal there and I was like, hey, that's a portal to another dimension. So I tried to turn it on and walk through it, and nothing happened.
Right. Yep. So Do you have your Lexica Botania?
Yeah.
Drop
Alright,
it into
upstairs.
the portal. So let's see, where's that hopper hawk?
Oh, it gives it a second school of knowledge.
Yes. And then all the
Aha.
elven stuff is open to you now. Like, you could have done it anyway, but it just tells you in the book now how it all works.
Well, having it in the book is very helpful.
Yeah. So let's see. If you come down to your Ignis level, or your Golem level, wherever your first flower is. Let's see. There you go. And that's for you. So put that on in your bobble slot, and then look at the hopper hawk.
That's very useful.
Yeah. Botania has all kinds of little sneaky things like that. There are a lot of little tricky things in Botania that are just fancy. I think that also lets you see mana bursts through walls or something like that too.
So yeah, if my number is correct, it reaches to just outside the door.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. All right, guys. So I guess we'll take a look at this again, Lex, once it's up and running. I can't wait to see it finished because it's really cool looking. Plus, having access to all those mana beans would be awesome. Are you gonna then automate it so that it keeps all the jars full?
Maybe.
Nice.
I haven't quite decided how to do that yet.
Yeah, that's really tricky to do. You can do it with Computercraft. I've done it.
No, I'm going to use pure Thaumcraft, and yeah.
Is there a way to do it
Well,
with pure Thumbcraft?
well, I'm going to go the barrels in. If this works, I'm going to go barrels into the alchemical furnace, and then I'm going to tube everything up
Nice.
because you can actually separate the tubes. So yeah.
Very cool. Well, I look forward to checking it out. For now, guys, we got to wrap up the episode, so we'll come back next time, maybe see some more of that farm if it's done, and if not, then there's plenty more to do, because now that we've got our base hooked up to the workshop via this nifty guy right here, which for some reason I keep losing connection on it. I'm wondering if there's not enough power on the other side. That wouldn't surprise me. I'm going to go investigate that. But for now, Darwell20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.